Welcome. This is the Between Brothers podcast, where we give you real talk, authentic takes, and laughs on sports, pop culture, and life. I'm your host, Duke Debonair, Lando in the building, along with my older brother, Lando, and the Chancellor of Charisma, Zero, in the mother loving building. What's going on, Zero?
Not much. Found a bird.
You kill it?
No.
Um,
Apparently it should die. But um, so I gave it to my manager. He said he was gonna take it to a wildlife preservation, something of that nature. And then come to
mhm.
find out it's an invasive species of sparrow.
Uh,
So
so you,
yeah,
so you did the wrong thing, is what you're telling me.
absolutely. I should have ran the
And
damn thing over.
you should have twice.
Yeah, so yeah, that was crazy. Uh, I was like invasive. I was like, what's wrong with invasive? And then I looked it up and I was like, yeah, oh, okay.
You said what's
Okay.
wrong with invasive? Do you want to be invaded on?
Now, I didn't know. Now, I've never, every time I hear of invasive species, or I hear the word invasive, but I've never actually looked up what it meant because they were saying
Mm,
like the Japanese, the giant Japanese hornets aren't an
mm.
invasive species. So I was like, so I've heard it, but nobody's ever explained it, or I've never attempted to look it up. And then when I finally went to go look it up, it was like, yeah, they can destroy some shit that they don't need to, so they don't need to be around.
Yeah, there was one, I forget, it was like some kind of frog or something somewhere in Asia or
Mm,
maybe Australia or something. They have like a big frog problem because it's a invasive type of frog. Iguanas, I think, in Florida, the iguanas that are like falling out of trees, they're apparently an invasive species as well.
yeah, what's
I
it
need to watch
called?
an animal documentary. I ain't watched one of those in probably
I
six,
know,
seven
right?
months. I used to watch them joints at least once a week.
Yeah, there was. I think. What was it? I think it's the pythons. I think that folks be releasing in Florida are invasive species. It's like
Yeah,
niggas get tired of these snakes and then just be like, all right, here you go.
stupid people.
Yeah. And it's like, it don't make no sort of sense. But it's like if this wasn't gonna be like for the long haul, like having a dog and the dog stays with you unless it attacks somebody or dies of old age, I don't see a reason to even invest anything just for you to be like, I'm bored with you. Toss him in the backyard. Toss him in the
Yeah,
swamp down the street.
the ex-wife used to do that a lot. Get a pet, and then after a little while, the pet's no longer around. Don't know what happened to it,
Oh my goodness.
and so she has a cat now. So who knows what's gonna happen with that in 6 months?
Oh jeez.
Um, so I had a fairly eventful week since we last recorded. I got into a car accident. My car was totaled. It was my fault. I hit somebody. But uh it I generally do my own brakes. I bought the brake pads and everything 2 months ago due to it being crazy hot outside or when I'm off bad weather. Um I kind of procrastinated about it. It's not like every weekend was that situation, but there were a lot of those situations that happen more often than not. Um, And but there were a couple times where it's just like I'm exhausted, or hey, it's sunny outside. I need to mow the lawn because Link doesn't reside here anymore, so I got to do all the lawn work and stuff. So it's just like, okay, and we have a. I've said this many times in the podcast. We have a massive yard, so to be honest, I need to invest in one of those riding mowers. Not due to laziness, but ever since I got my hip flexor injury, it takes me something that normally would take me like an hour and a half to do, takes me like 3 hours to do because leg hurts. I gotta stop, take a lot of breaks and stuff like that. So so it's like, yeah, I might have to just put the 3 grand together and put it together. Um but yeah, hit this lady, rear-ended her. So and I might as we go, I'll show the pictures or whatever possibly on the video form of the podcast. But my car, I felt like I had enough distance because I know like the defensive driving course are like, hey, do 3 Mississippis. I generally do 2 Mississippi. So I was at a 2 Mississippi distance, which I think is about 200 feet. But when I hit the brakes, my car just wouldn't stop. So I think, and I'm pretty sure because I didn't replace the brake pads. So that being said, did all that good stuff. The lady was an Uber driver. So the lady who she's driving, it's like, hey, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong. I'm okay. I barely noticed you hit me. You hit us. The lady who I hit, who's in the front seat, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Like the most easel white lady of all time, yo. Again, if I was mad tight on money and things like that, I'm not saying Uber drivers are, but
Mm.
if I was mad tight on money, I would probably embellish a little bit too. But I was like, hey, you okay? No, no, I'm not okay. Can you help me call my husband? I'm gonna call the police and they'll sort this out. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are you doing? You just pissing me off. Like, and so the
I
other thing
gotta say
is,
my final goodbyes.
yeah, like then the other thing is, again, so when I realized I wasn't gonna stop, I tried to turn to get into onto the shoulder. So I hit
Mm,
the lady. So the person who should have gotten the brunt of the injury, if there was any injury, was the Uber rider.
hmm
The lady was in a Land Rover, so it's a massive vehicle. I drove a Mazda 6. So it's a significantly larger vehicle than mine.
mm,
Um, I caught her passenger side bumper. Damage is good, but it's not a total loss for her. It was a total loss for me. They declared it total today. This woman's on the driver's side in the front seat of a massive vehicle, acting like somebody shot her in the neck. I was like, yo, like you doing the most, but keep getting up checks. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock the hustle. So if I never hit you, we wouldn't be having this situation. So I gotta own that.
mm,
But it did piss me off. So I got a fair foul. So we've been doing the 2 car boy for a while. Me and the Duchess came in with 2 sedans. Um, we just never uh felt like there was a real purpose of getting like a large SUV if it was going to cost us 700-800 bucks a month. So we just do the 2 car boy. Link has moved out, so but we still have 6 people. So 2 car boy we still need to do, but it makes even less sense now to do two or to keep doing it because it's generally 5 people can go on one car and then one person is in the other car. And
hmm
it's just like so it's like okay, it makes sense to get an SUV at this point. And we have the opportunity, whatever. So we go to a dealership. I used to work at a Mazda dealership. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna give Mazda the first go. The Mazda CX-90 is a nice vehicle, but it's quite frankly, it's outside of where I want to spend.
Mhm.
A new one, a used one, I don't know, but I didn't see any that I particularly I didn't see any used ones on the lot. So the Duchess, so I said, hey, if we get a third row vehicle or if we get an SUV, you're probably going to be the main person driving it. It makes more sense for you to be the main person driving it because you are usually the one who has all the kids. So they told the car. Duchess is like, yo, can we go get my car now? Now, again, it wouldn't be her car technically. Yes, technically. But it's my car. I'm the one without a car because of the accident. They're giving me money to replace my car.
Mhm.
So I'm like, woman, relax. So we went to the dealership. She fell in love with the Hyundai Palisade. So we're leaning towards getting that vehicle. Once they cut us a check, we're going to go back to the dealership and figure it out. But we went to the Hyundai dealership for that. Long story short, she says if the SUV does not fit the budget, can we use the money so I can get the Hyundai Elantra, which is a car she fell in love with because a couple weeks prior she got into an accident. Now it wasn't her fault; somebody hit her, um,
Mhm.
uh, uh, scraped her on the side. Fair or foul, the Duchess using my plight to get herself a new vehicle by any means necessary. I was
Foul as hell.
I was like, okay, the SUV, I'm with it. But if it's like, hey, this is gonna be $600-700 a month, I'm not going there. So I'm like, no, I'll just get another car and we'll just continue to do the two-car board. She like, nah, man. All right, well, if we're gonna do it, can I get the Hyundai Elantra and you still use my car?
Nope. You know what I do?
This
You
woman
know what I do?
is
I'll buy the Hyundai Elantra.
insane.
I'll buy the Hyundai Elantra, and she can still drive her car. So every day she's gonna have to see me drive her car, drive her dream car.
That's ruthless, yo. If I did get a Hyundai sedan, it would be the Sonata. The launch is too small. But
Oh,
no, I'm saying if I did get a Hyundai sedan, it had to be
no, no,
like
no. I'm laughing because it's like the car you fell in love with. You made sure that it was small enough so it's like you get.
no, no. They just gave her the comparable car to her car because she drives a Volkswagen Passat, so they gave her
Mm,
a small sedan or a compact sedan. So it's not like
mm.
but like I said, the whole thing is she trying to find a way to get herself a new car due to my plight.
Nah, we
I'm the
good
one
on
who would
that.
still have to make the payments. I'm the one who got to do all that. But yeah, she like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get this new whip.
Nah,
Brand new car,
yeah,
got
foul.
no keys.
Nah, foul as hell. No, you still got your vehicle. I'm out here. I'm out here naked. Nah,
I'm not like it's like okay, because you got an accident, I'm gonna punish you because I was 2 months away from paying the car off.
mm,
So that's the thing that makes it even because I was hoping, all right, pay the car off, get about six months to not have a car payment, and then go get the car that we actually want. But that wasn't that isn't the case. But God has blessed me with health and the ability to get a new car, so I ain't tripping. But anyways, let's get to these topics here. One thing I gotta reiterate, I've mentioned this several times on this podcast. And that's like we all have our biases, no matter what. Like Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time, no matter what LeBron James does. Um, and or now, I'm not saying that Michael Jordan will remain the greatest player of all time for as long as I live, but LeBron James just ain't the guy who to overtake. Um, I've talked about like other people where they was it Dr. Is Mike Israetel, where he talks about fitness and stuff like that, but he does it from a bodybuilder's bias versus a athleticism bias sometimes. Because I remember one time he was talking about Floyd Mayweather's workout, and I'm like, you're not a boxer. This dude is the epitome of boxing fitness. So how you gonna sit there and say what he's doing is wrong? Um, so so that being said, we talking about Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp, who was it that he was criticizing?
It was Ahmad Rashad. S-
So go ahead, tell me.
So so the issue so they were talking about how folks modern commentators who support LeBron are considered stans, and he don't like the fact that they're considered stands rather than just he feels that they're unfairly labeled. But then he said Ahmad Rashad and his relationship with Jordan didn't face the same sort of scrutiny in the 90s. So yeah, he used him as an example, and it's clearly the because it's LeBron, Jordan has to come up in their conversation. And it was like, man, they were trying to say that Ahmad Rashad had basically a bias. Yeah, had a biased relationship with Jordan, but nobody ever said anything about it. Like how they say today.
Yeah, so again, Michael Jordan, people who came up in his era, I'm sure they had biases for him. But my issue with Shannon Sharp is that he's the ultimate pole rider. What I mean by that is, okay, I watched a lot of Ahmad Rashad in the 90s. I don't remember Ahmad Rashad jumping on any anything on NBC, bloviating about how great Michael Jordan was, how he's the greatest player of all time, how you're that Shannon Sharp never necessarily gone that far, but how you're foolish for believing anybody else is greater than him, that
Mm-hmm.
nobody could ever overtake him. And it's just one of those things where it's like, yes, I watched I watched Nicholas Wright create a greatest 100 players list of all time, go on Bill Gates' internet, go on Walt Disney's airwaves, and don't talk to me about, oh, they're with Fox. Shut up. Leave me alone. And Bill Gates did not invent the internet. So stop
But it's a joke. Like, get over yourselves.
it. they he goes on there and says Michael Jordan is not as great as LeBron James and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And his reasoning for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar being above Michael Jordan, you could use for all the talking points in which to say that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar should actually be number one, because he
Mm-hmm.
talks about the 6 MVPs, the 6 championships, you know, the scoring the most points all time, and this and the other. But for some reason, Michael Jordan having the highest points per game of all time, only player, or I think he was the only player I think he still might be the only player to lead the league in steals and scoring. Um, no, no, no. I think Allen Iverson's done it since. Uh, like Michael Jordan was the first to do a lot of things, just like Wilt Chamberlain was the first to do a lot of things, just like LeBron James was the first to do a lot of things. But for some reason, six championships, and then he uses Kareem's high school career to downplay Jordan, like we've ever considered that. High school and college careers, like we've ever considered, but he didn't consider it when it came to LeBron James, who had no college career. And I I know he had a high school career, of course, because he got drafted out of high school, but I don't remember it. I don't know if he was like a state champion. I don't know if he was a
I
national
think they I
champion.
think they won a state championship his senior year.
Okay. So it's just one of those things. Because I think Michael Jordan averaged nearly a triple double his senior year of high school. So for some reason that doesn't get considered. And it's just like like we watch y'all do this. I've never seen somebody from the 90s do this. So now it could be technology, access to information. I don't know. But y'all make things up to make LeBron James be the greatest player of all time. If if you can show me footage of Ahmad Rashad doing that for Michael Jordan, then Shannon Sharp, I'm with you. But as usual, with all you LeBron James fans, you talk out of your butt cheeks on a regular basis. That's it. Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time. I can count the ways. You can believe that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time, but don't act like you're not biased.
Hmm.
Like, what are we talking about? LeBron James is the only player who has done what he's done, who has accomplished what he's accomplished, good and bad. And for some reason, we need to forget about the overwhelming bad. We need to forget about all that because of your feelings. LeBron James was never as good as. Let's just make this real simple. LeBron James, there's three things. LeBron James has not been better at Michael Jordan than any of these things. Number one is winning. Number two is offense. Number three is defense. There's never been a point in LeBron James' career that he was better than Michael Jordan, peak for peak, in any of these categories. If you want to go in depth with it, if y'all listen to the podcast, y'all can DM me. We could do an Instagram live debate. I don't care. I'm gonna watch it, including Shannon Sharp. With all your resources, I'll watch you. Zero. What do you think of Shannon Sharp's commentary?
Like it's just weird. Like why is like your behavior when it comes to LeBron, it seems like it warrants this rather than it's like yeah, it warrants it. You folks that don't have LeBron number one, you going ballistic over that. It's like it's their opinion. Who the hell cares? It's like you think LeBron's the greatest of all time, fine. That's your opinion. If somebody else doesn't have him there, why are you arguing with somebody who doesn't have him there? It's like it's one of those. because we do commentary, you have to agree with me, or it's like some they may not see LeBron the way that you see LeBron. It is what it is. But it's like it feels like there's like a more underlying issue here because Shannon has glazed LeBron, because I'm going to say it. Shannon has glazed LeBron for a long time. But them niggas ain't friends though. Jordan and Ahmad have a close relationship. It's because of their close relationship is why, and trying to and you know how folks love saying that folks that are jumping on LeBron's junk is basically on Clutch Sports payroll.
Yeah.
Like it's because it says, because it says on this commentary here too, what I was reading. It says the Shannon noted that not a single person ever accused Ahmad Rashad of glazing Michael Jordan or being on Jordan's payroll despite their tight friendship. Is because they are friends. There is like it is what it is. He had the Jordan has the type of relationship with Ahmad Rashad during the 90s that you don't have with LeBron today. Like, is that what bothers you? Because
Shannon Sharp ain't friends with LeBron James?
as far as I know, no, not or at least not to the extent of um Jordan and Rashad.
Like
Because I remember Rashad.
you can't be twerking it up for a dude that ain't gonna even be like that you're like that's what Drake did.
Yeah, it was just like it was just so weird because it's like they have the friendship. I mean, Jordan. I think Jordan had did an interview. He wanted to do an interview. He said the only person he wanted interviewing him was Ahmad Rashad. It was like, okay. It was like, does that mean it was like because everybody's making payroll jokes about you, that automatically means because they're friends, he must be on the payroll. There's been no like there was a video where Ahmad Rashad was talking to um Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell, and he asked who is their top five players of all time. Of course, they couldn't. Of course, they couldn't stick to the assignment, so they had chose six. And Jordan was on. Yeah, and what was it? They didn't have it in particular order. I don't think, but when they said they would put Jordan on the list, Rashad wasn't like, "You ain't gonna put Jordan number one on your list." It's Michael Jordan. But you got Shannon Sharp. Somebody said that they had Jordan one, and I think Jordan one, Magic two, and somebody else three.
Who was the person he was talking to though?
I think it wasn't Skip. Skip was there. I can't remember who was the person that he was talking to, but
Was it
it was a
what was it
guest.
but was the guest an athlete?
I believe so. Yeah,
Was the
I think.
guest an NBA player?
I don't think the guest was an NBA player.
The reason why I'm gonna push back a little bit on that is because you're talking to the people who pioneered basketball and Wilt Chamberlain. And like you would be so out of place trying to argue with those two people
Hmm.
about who the greatest player of all. Now, I'm not saying Ahmad Rashad would have, because again, I've never seen Ahmad Rashad do that with anybody. But to be like, you don't have like to have that kind of energy with the two two guys who was probably at that time in everybody's top five.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
just like you wouldn't have a leg to stand on. I
Yeah.
think Ahmad Rashad is smart enough. Just Shannon Sharp clearly wasn't smart enough to outwit a 23-year-old OnlyFans model. So like he's not smart enough to do that with anybody either. So,
Yeah,
it could be Kobe, it could be Kobe and Dwayne Wade up there because both of them have. Well, I shouldn't say both of them. Wayne Wade said that Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time, and he said he's told LeBron many times to his face that Michael Jordan's the greatest player of all time. So, like, you
yeah,
about to talk crazy to Dwayne Wade,
yeah,
who played with him?
and it was like, and it's just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're frustrated about I'm pretty sure you're frustrated that folks keep on coming at you and saying that you on the payroll, you're this, you're that, and it's bothering the hell out of you. But to bring Ahmad Rashad into the situation when Ahmad Rashad has never been that type of person is fucking ridiculous. He catching the stray for no reason at all because you and your feelings.
Skip Bayless is probably the better example of being on the payroll than Amhad Rashad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you never, you know, and also it's because there's such a media push to make LeBron the greatest, and clearly LeBron and his team is orchestrating that, is
Mm-hmm.
why people believe that, why people are putting that rumor out there. I don't believe that they're getting necessarily, I don't know if they're agents, like if Clutch Sports is agents of theirs. I doubt it because I think they're solely with sports, like athletes, not necessarily sports entertainment per se. But like I said, guys like him, like guys like Colin Cowherd, guys like Nick Wright, when they say certain things and they make they create these narratives, and it's just like, bro, like none of again, I just named three categories on why LeBron should never be considered greater than Michael Jordan. But then the other portion of it is LeBron James is the only person who anybody has a GOAT conversation with, who people will talk until their face is blue in the GOAT conversation. Yet he's he has a losing record in the big dance. Nobody nobody else has that issue. Nobody. Nobody else has that issue. So it's just like that should automatically disqualify you because at the end of the day, how many championships you won, I don't think that matters. But I do think that finals record or championship record should matter in some way, shape, or form. Shouldn't be the ultimate thing, but it should be a thing. And if you got a losing record in the big dance, I don't care. You only believe LeBron went up against harder competition because he lost so much. Because it's just like, because for example, um, Tom Brady, he lost three Super Bowls. He shouldn't have, like on paper, he should have never lost to the Giants either time. So it's just like, and on paper, LeBron shouldn't have lost to Golden State the first time they played, even though Kyrie got hurt. He shouldn't have lost to the Mavericks. So it's just like, what are we talking about?
Mm-hmm.
He's lost five. He shouldn't have lost to the Spurs. Like I don't know who was favored in those matchups or whatever, but like as far as like the Vegas betting odds, but there's teams that he lost to that he shouldn't have lost to. The only teams that he lost to that he should have lost to were the KD Warriors. So it's just like, but he has four other losses. So that's when you start becoming disingenuous with your debate. Why is Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time? Oh, he got the most Super Bowls. But you're not saying that about Bill Russell. You're not saying that about Michael Jordan. Why is Babe Ruth the greatest baseball player of all time? He got, I think, five World Series rings, and he was doing it on both sides. You're not saying that about you're not saying that about anybody. Well, Babe Ruth was very unique, but you're not saying that about a lot of guys and a lot of people who watch baseball from like the great Bambino days to Willie Mays days. A lot of people believe that Willie Mays was a better baseball player. So it's just like there's a lot of factors that go into being the GOAT. Winning should be one of them. I think Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player I've ever seen play baseball. I'm not telling nobody he's the GOAT. He never won. I think he got 7 MVPs. He never won. Now, should he be in the top 10, top 15, top five, just based off his skill alone? Maybe so. The GOAT, you gotta win. You gotta win at the end of the day. Like the great American philosopher Herman Edwards once said, you play to win the game.
Yeah. It's like my thing is just get out of your feelings. Because because the only reason why folks are saying what they're saying is because of the way that you conduct yourself commentating about this sort of thing. Like you put yourself in this situation when somebody said doesn't have LeBron number one and you just start creaming in your jeans because of the fact that they don't have him number one. No, wait, what? Like, chill out, dog. It's like my list does not have to match yours in every way, shape, or form just because you're Shannon Sharp and you're a fan of LeBron.
Here, here's the thing that's like, here's the thing that makes it like very, very unusual. This is gonna be the last point I make. It's like, all right, you think Michael Jordan's the greatest player. The person mentioned this particular person you talk about mentioned Magic Johnson and who else?
I think it was Kobe, I think.
Okay, so you got guys. Now this person might just be like counting rings, but for you to think that it's absolutely preposterous for somebody to say that the greatest point guard to ever play is greater than LeBron, the greatest shooting guard and who most people think is the greatest player of all time is above LeBron James. And they say, I always thought this was a stupid argument, but the guy who's closest to him in game, in style of play, in mentality, in Kobe Bryant is above LeBron James. And you're over here like you didn't even let my man get to LeBron might be in up there with for him, but you didn't even let him finish his list that you asked him for. It's just like what? Like, and I don't know that person was like going in a particular order or whatever, but it's just like, bro, like to believe again, I've heard people like, oh, like I think Charlamagne was the most recent person I heard say it like, oh, Kobe's the second greatest player of all time because he's the closest thing to Michael Jordan. And it's just like that's just stupid. Like I don't even know how you even put those things together. Like because it says he's the closest thing to Michael Jordan style of play doesn't mean that he was greater than a bunch of other players who was rated over him. He wasn't Jordan at the end of the day. Like so but like I said, if that's the logic you want to use, then fine, so be it. Whatever logic you try to use. But that's why we have these debates. That's why we make points. That's why, we put up numbers and career accomplishments, things of that nature, and whoever makes a better argument wins. But it shouldn't get emotional. As a professional commentator like Shannon Sharp is, you shouldn't let these things get emotional. Just like how you got emotional when Shakur Stevenson was on your show. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do that anymore. Cut it out. Like Zero said, get out your feelings. Speaking of feelings, Enos Cantor and
Royce White.
Royce White. I was gonna say, I knew Royce, but I was gonna say O'Neal, but I'm like, no, that's not the right last name. Y'all are way too much in your feelings. Now I get some of like the mockery a little bit, where it's like the WNBA doesn't want to identify, like I guess not offend the trans community. They don't want to identify, you know, what particularly a woman is. And there's I understand why people get annoyed by the political left, particularly having that conversation and trying to avoid that conversation.
Mm.
Now, I don't know any trans people, but I will say this. If you are a trans person and you feel like you're a male trapped in a female's body, the or a female trapped in a male's body, I want to focus on that one because this is what the whole issue is about. Like, you know, as like a lot of them take it all the way there to where they get the surgery to create, you know, a female genitalia. So I don't know why it would be offensive for, now again, whether you are born biologically male or female. I don't think that's the issue. But I do think it's just like, yo, like you have to have, you know, hey, what a female is, you know, a person who is born, or a woman is a person who is born with female genitalia, which is, you know, a vagina, and just kind of like leave it at that. If the trans community gets offended by that, I just need to know why. Again, I'm not really trying. Like a lot of times, I really can care less if somebody's offended.
Mm.
But and I don't care if anybody is offended. I'm just saying, like, why would that be an issue for y'all? So, like, if you're offended, I don't give a shit. But if I'm trying to understand something, you should help me understand, except for getting outraged. So
But
that being said, go ahead.
it's easier to get outraged. You know, it's funny because you even saying that just reminded me of these because you said you got if you can explain why it bothers you. It was a skit. This guy, he does like Formula One racing skits, and the video was about a race car who won the first race, and he had two diffusers on his vehicle. So he was like, so the commissioner asked, why don't y'all just put another diffuser on your car? He said, well, the way that it works, it's really difficult to just do it on your car. So it's gonna take years for them to figure it out. It's just easier for them to complain about it and get it banned rather than trying to figure it out themselves. So that's what it felt like right then and there. It was like it's you would think that you would be able to explain why it bothers you, but it's easier for you to complain about it rather
Now,
than actually explaining your position on it.
here's the other thing though, which is unfortunate because so many debates are not made in good faith. So like there's somebody who I follow who does biblical content. He's a conservative. I don't necessarily care if you're politically, however you politically lean, but he made a post saying something like gun violence. He was like, conservatives don't believe guns should be illegal because we use it for hunting and protection, while liberals use them for murder and crime. And so that's why they want to ban them. And it's just like for you to think, so like you can't reason with a person like that.
Mm.
Like with for example, with like the school shootings, a lot of them, if we find out what political leaning they have, they're usually right leaning people.
Mm.
We recently, and it wasn't that recent, but we recently had, since we've been on this podcast, since we started this podcast, we saw a right leaning person shoot up a grocery store because there was black people in it. We saw a right leaning person shoot up a church because there was black. Like, so it's just like, I don't know how you can know these things and post a post like that
Yeah.
because you don't want to listen. You don't you're so caught up in what your personal beliefs are, you don't want to listen. And maybe the people they find it easier to be offended is because when they try to talk to people, whoever they were talking to just dug their heels in their position and didn't have an open mind about it. I'm not one of those people. I don't agree with transgenderism. I don't have to agree with you to understand you. Like I said, I've even said on this podcast, I can make a better case for LeBron James being the greatest player of all time than the LeBron James fans do. So it's just like, I can understand it if you help me understand it. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to walk away saying, yeah, you should change your gender or
Mm.
change your sex. I guess there's a difference between gender and sex. I didn't know there was a difference between gender and sex until somebody explained to me the difference between gender and sex. I never knew that was a difference because guess what? When you filling out your paperwork, sometimes it says sex MF, sometimes it says gender MF. So I thought they were one and the same.
It's like gender, motherfucker.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, um, so back to Ian's Cancer and Royce White. Royce White is probably the most filthy piece of crap of this whole thing. Here's the reason why. Even though I'm gonna get to Enos in a second because I'm gonna get to him in a second. 'Cause he's buffoonery on another level. But here's why Royce White is a piece of crap. This this man came out of college, was on Walt Disney TV, and said and was talking about his mental health issues since he got to the NBA and was looking for sympathy from those people. Yet these people, some of them may have mental health issues. I know trans gender was it gender dysmorphia? Is that the word I'm looking for? I
I
don't know.
believe so.
Was considered a mental illness for you know decades. Uh, some people, some of them do struggle. And actually, no, like if you feel like you're a male trapped in a female body or vice versa, there is mental health. Not, I'm not, I don't, I'm not trying to say those people are crazy, but if that's what you truly believe, you could very well possibly be going crazy because of how you feel. Just like schizophrenic people. I'm not comparing transgender people to schizophrenic people. I'm just saying, like, these people have these thoughts and things of that nature where they're in constant battle with their mental, with their mentality that they, sometimes they do harm to others, sometimes they do harm to themselves. Transgenders commit suicide on an extremely high level. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. Again, I don't have that issue where I believe that I'm something else, something that I'm not, or something that my body says I am. So get on here, you piece of hypocritic garbage, and talk about these people because of whatever. Like, I don't even know what that's about. I don't care. Again, I don't care enough about transgender people to fight for them for real, for real. But I do care enough that pieces of garbage like him get to say stuff on Bill Gates and Elon Musk's internet, on Mark Zuckerberg's social media.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Like, what are we doing? You jump on here and you say this dumb shit out your mouth when what if people would have jumped on him and scrutinized him and criticized him? Like you remember the dude, the Richie Incognito, what was the guy who he was bullying?
Jonathan Martin.
Jonathan Jonathan Martin. Like imagine like if he would have done something like this, I'd do the same thing. I'd treat him the same way. Like you
But didn't Jonathan Martin come out and say that what he said wasn't true?
you like no or no, it wasn't as bad as the media tried to make it. Like he wasn't the one putting the
Mm.
statements out there. I understand y'all call women this when you want to be derogatory, but it's called the to Enos Cantor and Royce White. It's called the WNBA, Women's National Basketball Association. It's not called the BNBA because y'all some bitches. It's not the bitch nigga basketball association.
I
I
think
understand. I understand that you trying to make a case because you a bitch and you've been a bitch. Specifically, you, Royce White. Oh, my feelings. I can't play basketball. Fuck you.
to
And
all of a
again,
sudden want to become
again,
a WNBA player. All right, man.
again. If Royce White would have never put that out there, I have sympathy for him. But since you can't have sympathy for those people, I don't want to have sympathy for you. You've been a bitch. Enos Cantor. Like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, since the WNBA doesn't want to, then I'm going to declare myself a woman and play. Of course, your bitch ass want to play with women, because no, because women wouldn't play with you in any other way, anyways.
Oh my goodness.
If you wasn't a rich person, guaranteed. Because what are you doing? Why does this mean anything to you? You're not in the WNBA. You haven't participated in WNBA. So what does this do for you? You sitting there again. Somebody now. I'm not saying that there aren't sick people who are using the transgender movement to pretend like they have these issues, but there are some people who truly believe that they are trans, that they are a different person in a different body. So to those people, I don't know why you feel like you can just sit there and say, I pretend this, I want to pretend to be this, I want to pretend to be that because I'm a bitch and I want to do bitch shit because I'm a bitch. Enos Cantor. What like I don't understand. Go do something with yourself. Go find something what you like to do. You made millions of dollars and you out here doing this shit. For what? Now again, the WNBA, that I can see where this is problematic. When they ask them about women, you can just say what this is. The fact that we are talking about the WNBA like we didn't create the league for women is ridiculous to me. It's just ridiculous to me. So it's just like there's not co-ed basketball. There's not a co-ed professional league. So no, you know what a woman is. You do not need to be afraid to offend these people. You guys know what people mean when they say woman. Just because there is a transgender movement, the transgender community is getting strong, that doesn't mean that we should not talk about women and or men in what we've called and understood women and or men for our entire lifetimes of human history.
Yo, the pandemic did some shit.
The pandemic strengthened niggas like Enos Cantor.
Because the pandemic is like niggas started making their own pronouns during that shit.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about dumb bitches. It's
Yeah,
again, women are allowed in the basketball league, not bitches.
yeah, I ain't got nothing else to add.
Clearly, they clearly they allow bitches in the NBA. Go back there. What else were you supposed to talk about? I'm missing
KD.
something. Oh, all right. I don't hate KD for this, but I've hated KD since like 2012.
Because there were people that were looking at what he said and were in what was it? When he said that the last time there was like three plus 20 point scorers on a team, it was when he went to the Warriors because we completely forgot that played with the he played in Brooklyn where there were three 20 plus point scorers. Like I think he's played on four teams since where there were 20 plus point scored. Three like including
Brad, I think Bradley Beal was coming off of leading the league in scoring. Kevin
yeah.
Durant led the league in scoring. Devin Booker's been a 25-point per game guy for pretty much his whole career.
So when he was with the
Um,
Suns,
James Harden. James Harden. The only time, no, James Harden, scoring champion, play with him. Like I'm trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with Kevin Durant. What
and and he set the stray over at Klay Thompson.
people said because he was using his burner, he thought he was using his burner account. They're like, you got to say the full name to make it seem like you're not talking about Clay. Like you're not you're gonna say stuff like Clay Thompson because everybody calls him Clay Thompson, except maybe people are in the media anyways, except for people that may be more familiar with us. That's why Clay was like, "Yo, we good, dog."
Yeah, because he was like, yo, he said you got a former MVP. He was a yeah, it was like what was it? So it'd be two former MVPs in LeBron and Embiid,
Embiid. Hmm.
former Finals MVPs in Jalen Brown and LeBron. Um, 25 plus point scorers in I think all in four of them in the past.
Three of them.
Um,
Oh, in the past, yeah.
yeah. Um, so
Yeah, I don't even think LeBron. I think LeBron barely averaged 20 last year. Two
yeah, I
numbers are
think
coming to my head. 23.9 and 20.9 are coming to my head.
it was
I think
23.9.
okay. So to Kevin Durant is the ultimate plug and play player.
Uh,
That's why everybody believed that that was cheating. You had the best scorer, the best pure scorer in basketball going onto a team that was really too for For some reason, they had their only cold streak in the end of that game of those finals where they went like 4.5 minutes without scoring a basket. So it was the style of play that made people believe that it was going to be unfair. It wasn't
Mhm.
the collection of players, or wasn't only the collection of players. You had Draymond Green running the point or doing the facilitating, and then you got Kate. Like I remember having that feeling when the first time I played basketball with my debonair brother Terrell. Like I had you and I had Terrell. I don't have to do anything. This is cheating. This is cheating. I don't have to do anything. So it's just like, yo, like Spot did the dirty work. I ran the point. Tim got abused, but I didn't have to do anything. It's just like, oh
That
shoot, I don't
jab
have to
step, the
score.
smile was crazy. It's like, nigga, just shoot.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So it's just like we understood that. Like yo, like this team has a 40-some-year-old man in LeBron James, an 80-year-old man in Joel Embiid's kneecaps,
Yeah.
a
80-year-old
90-year-old
body is
man,
crazy.
no, a 90-year-old man in LeBron James' hairline, a 7-year-old man in Jalen Brown's hairline. It's just a lot of old going on in Philly, man. Philadelphia is a historic city, and and now they created a prehistoric team to to combat with the likes of Oklahoma City, San Antonio, New York, Boston, Cleveland. Like, and no, don't get me wrong, like a lot of these teams are like elite teams, but it's just like they're not, and they got Nick Nurse, I think, still coaching them, who he's a decent coach, but y'all
Mhm.
gotta find chemistry. Y'all got four guys who's used to having the ball in their hands, and now you gotta try to find the chemistry, maneuver things of that nature. Before y'all even went to camp, they announced that LeBron's playing the point. You don't even know if he can. It, LeBron James is an intelligent player. I'm sure he'll figure it out. But as far as figuring it out, LeBron has not figured out how to keep guys playing their particular games without necessarily getting in their way. Like again, go to Kevin Love and Chris Bosh. Both of them had to drastically change their games to fit LeBron. LeBron has not gone anywhere to where he's necessarily drastically changed his game to fit other people.
Mhm.
Everybody's always had to adjust to him, not the other way around. And LeBron being gone for so much of the season is the reason why the Lakers were able to do things with LeBron not on the floor. But you saw Austin Reeves have issues when LeBron came back. And Austin Reeves was the one who had to adjust his game so LeBron can integrate himself back into the offense. It wasn't the other way around. And when did LeBron play his best? During the playoffs, when it was just him. So it's just like, no, like for KD to say something so simplistic. Kevin Durant's not a stupid basketball player. I don't like Kevin Durant, but he's not an idiot. So for him to say something so idiotic pisses me off because you giving yourself built-in excuses for why you not gonna succeed. That's all you doing. Oh well, when it was me, shut the hell up.
But it ain't you. There's like you need to start thinking about how when you go back into camp, how your teammates gonna be looking at you because you keep throwing them niggas under the bus like crazy.
Bruh. That's what I'm saying. It's just like I said, Kevin Durant was arguably the second best player in basketball. So you got the second, just like the Miami Heat, where you had the best basketball player in the world joining the team that has maybe the best shooting guard in the world at that time, definitely. Maybe the top five power forward in the world in Chris Bosh. Everybody, of course, everybody's going to believe that they're going to win. So you had the best shooter in the game in Steph Curry, the second best shooter in the game is in Klay Thompson, the fourth best shooter in the game in Kevin Durant. Why? And not only that, Steph Curry's probably, depending on who you ask, either the best, second, or third best basketball player in the world, depending on who you ask because of the height. LeBron was still the best, but like that's what I said, depending on who you ask. Kevin Durant was a top two, top three player. So you put the two of the three best players in basketball on the same team with the best shooter in basketball, the best defender in basketball. Why would we not think that's not the case for Philadelphia? But guess
You
what?
got to see if they're even gonna work.
When you say stupid things like when you and Kyrie Irving get on a podium and say we really don't need a coach, I'm not even sure why I'm mind blown by this.
It's like y'all don't really need a coach when y'all the ones who picked the coach.
They thought offset because they forgot that they had the guard on the other end. So it's just like they forgot. They thought that they were so good offensively that they didn't have to do this, or that was going to carry them to the finals when they joined Brooklyn, because especially when James Harden got there. Oh, we got way too much firepower to be. The Warriors weren't great because they had firepower. The Warriors were great because they were also a top five defense. Kevin
Mm.
Durant, I don't know what his metrics would have been, but Kevin Durant, as far as what my eyes showed me, he was his best defensively on the Warriors. So it's just like, so you got ingratiated to the culture of playing of where defense is very important. Steph Curry wasn't necessarily a great defensive player, but he gave effort on defense. Everybody gave effort on defense. So it's just like, yeah, that's why they were great. They had firepower out of their two of their players, and they had elite defense all across the board. Four out of their five players were really good defensively at least on the starting lineup, and then they had an elite defensive player in Andre Iguodala coming off the bench. So it's just like I don't know why you trying to act like that wasn't a thing. So you talking about, oh, they got 4 25-point scores. There's only one basketball, dog. And
Yeah,
Klay Thompson
somebody's
took a hit with having you on the team. Steph Curry took a hit statistically, having you on the team. So there's still only one basketball.
yeah, everybody can't have over 30% usage rates like they did before you
Yeah.
got there.
Because it's like you can't have four. It's impossible to have four guys with 30% usage rate. So who's gonna be the one to take the hit? Who's gonna be the one to be that defensive anchor?
Who the fuck is gonna play power forward?
That's a good question because they're
Because
saying LeBron's
LeBron's
gonna
gonna
be
be
the
the point.
the well defensively he might be the four, so that's different. Like offensively
Okay.
he might be running the show, but that doesn't mean. And I can't imagine LeBron James playing the four defensively at his age now. But
Oh man.
yeah, no, KD sound like an idiot. Like I
Yeah.
said, he's just giving himself a built-in excuse on why Houston's gonna not make the finals, and why he's making a built-in excuse on why he's gonna ask for a trade before the deadline.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's what he does. I want out.
Fuck you, KD. I can't stand that dude, man.
Hey, it is what it is at this point.
All right, Joe. Anything to add?
Nope.
All right,
Cause
let's
I
go.
got
Let's
some
go parting shot.
cause I got some shit to say on this fucking parting shot. Two things, both basketball related. And I'm not even a guy who really talks basketball, but it be pissing me off when niggas be going on social media. So there's
This
this,
entire podcast was about basketball.
yeah, the entire thing. So the first thing, there was a guy wearing a Knicks jersey and a polo shirt. That's already ridiculous as it's
In New York,
in New York.
where Will Mills at? Because that's disgusting.
So what's more disgusting was his Mount Rushmore list. The phrase "that sounds about white" filled it in really nice. So it was Larry Bird, um, Steve Kerr, um, I'm trying to think of, it was two coaches. I can't remember who the first coach he said. The second coach was um Steve Kerr. And he said the fourth spot was a toss up between Michael Jordan and Dirk, and he picked Dirk.
For what?
It was his Mount Rushmore for the
Of what?
NBA.
Mount like
Like his Mount Rushmore,
Mount Rushmore. What Mount like greatest players or
he could not. It was. I think it was
coaches or
not. It was supposed to be greatest players, but somebody in the comments said he couldn't think of any white players, so he put two coaches on his. Because he even said
he put Steve Kerr on a Mount Rushmore for what? For
for
greatest players?
not for because of his GM and his coaching, because he
Oh,
said
this is a Mount Rushmore of basketball.
yeah. And he put, and what was it? Somebody said he couldn't think of any white basketball players, so he put two coaches on his on
No,
his.
I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping off. If you're gonna put a Mount Rushmore, I'm not tripping off of a coach being on a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah,
Just
but
because like Mount Rushmore doesn't necessarily have to be like players, even though generally when you ask about that, that's what you're
yeah,
saying.
but
But
it
what
wasn't
the
even.
fuck is Dirk on the list for?
And here's the thing: he said there wouldn't be any Steph Curry or Michael Jordan without Steve Kerr.
I'll punch that guy in his neck. You know what? You can't trust a guy wearing a polo and a jersey. Matter of fact, whose page was that on? Whose page was that on? Because that's the
To
person
pick
that needs to
you,
be to blame. That's the person that needs to be blamed. Because
the interviewer.
you was in New York City streets and you saw a guy wearing a Knicks jersey, and you were like, that's a basketball fan,
Then
right?
you walk closer.
But then you saw the polo shirt underneath it, and you didn't second guess whether that guy was actually a basketball fan. That didn't come across your mind at all. You
Like,
wasn't like, did he
nigga, never
borrow that?
mind.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you probably borrowed that jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. He was like, look, just throw this on because it's supposed to be basketball content. But here's the second thing.
you wore you wore a jersey with buttons.
You, you wore a jersey with Ralph Lauren.
You have three but
Lacoste.
you have three buttons on your shirt, and you wearing a jersey. You got three buttons.
Say, nigga, is it hot?
Not even a full board. You know what I'm saying? Not even a full dress shirt. Like, well,
It's like,
you
yo,
got
is it
three
hot?
buttons.
He said, my chest needs to breathe. But here's the second thing, and I'm done. This dude goes on and he was upset about the Hall of Fame voting for the NBA because he thinks that the Hall of Fame should either be like how they do it in the NFL or even worse, like the MLB. Because, the MLB, if they don't get enough votes, nobody can go into the Hall of Fame year. So he made a list of all he started listing players that were in the Hall of Fame that he questioned should be the question if they should be in the Hall. And this is what pissed
Hmm.
me off. He said, Tim Duncan, uh, you didn't hear from me. He's like, I think he has the most. I think he's the most overrated player in NBA history. But you didn't hear that from me. And it was like, you know what? You got your opinion. All right. I don't know why you would say that, but okay. And then he said, because so it was basically he questioned if he should be up there. He said it was no doubt that Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker are Hall of Famers because they got 5 rings.
They don't have 5 rings.
I know. He's like, man, he was like, yep, they're Hall of Famers. It's the rings. So you mean to tell me
So Tim Duncan, who's the one person who actually has 5 rings,
is overrated and you don't, and you're questioning if he should be in the Hall, but his role players should be are
all right,
no
all right.
doubt
So,
Hall of Famers.
so because you feel like Tim Duncan is overrated for God knows why, you think that the guy who is a two-time MVP,
Mm-hmm.
two-time Finals MVP,
Mm-hmm.
five-time champion, I think he has the most all defensive teams ever. You think that guy should have a question mark next to him, but Tony Parker, who has a Finals MVP and nothing else, Miles Ginobili, I think he has two six fans of the year. And then when he was a starter, he didn't really his statistically he didn't get much better. Those guys deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. So that when you hear people when you watch people on social media,
Mm-hmm.
when you see people on Times MySpace saying these things, you just have to ignore them. Like you can't even you just gotta be like, oh, he probably wears button ups under, or he probably wears polos under his jersey, like, and then just move on.
Yeah, this is a fat black dude who said this, but I don't think it matters because you
No, because like I'm a fat black dude who knows basketball. Uh, what's his name? Legend Wing's a fat black dude that knows basketball. So I don't think it's that. I just think that that guy wears polos under his jersey like the other guy. That's it.
because the fact that you could say with a straight face, you question Tim Duncan, the main catalyst.
He's the guy. Whatever. I hate him.
Yeah, those are my part shots are basic. My part shot is basically this. Sometimes you just got to keep um, your NBA commentary to yourself. Now, the first guy he was interviewed by somebody else. It wasn't like he was doing the content himself and just
No,
putting
that's
his
why I
list
blame
up.
the interview. Like you literally saw this guy with a polo shirt on underneath
but
the jersey.
but the other dude, you literally it's like
You recorded yourself saying that on Mark Zuckerberg's internet.
if you don't like Tim Duncan, just say so. But when, because I understand, because it's like I understand your reasoning for you making this list, saying who you think is or isn't a Hall of Famer, because too many people are getting into the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it's like you got a plethora of people. It's like getting into the Hall of Fame. But then when you talk about Tim Duncan, question mark. But then you talk about Tony Parker when he won their first ring. What was he averaging, like 9 points?
Yeah, I don't know, but
Like Manu Ginobili is a career 6 man.
I mean, Miles Ginobili played an important role on the team. He just didn't have 5 championships. There's
Yeah,
only of the three players you name, there's only one of them with 5 championships. There's only one of them with multiple Finals MVPs. There's only one of them with multiple league MVPs. There's only one of them with. There's only one of them who's been a multi-time All Star, All NBA, and All Defense. What are we talking about?
one that has all these accolades, and the other two. Well,
The other two would be who he played for players if he wasn't if they weren't on the Spurs. Cut it out.
but that's yeah, like some of y'all niggas, and I'll even include myself in a sense because I'm not too keen on NBA history or things of that nature. But y'all niggas that make a living out of this shit, y'all really need to start questioning whether or not you should be putting this sort of product out there.
Yeah. Hi, my parting shot is um The Odyssey is a good movie, really good movie. Well, me and Lollipop went to see it yesterday. It was long as hell. The only my only gripe with The Odyssey, there were two scenes with some brief nudity,
Mm.
and they both were men's butt cheeks. We gotta stop this. We gotta stop this. Like
We gotta
like
stop the
either you know
madness.
what I'm saying? Like back in the day, brief nudity it was always a woman being shown naked. I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna show nudity, brief nudity, strong sexual content, let it be even. I do not need to see four pairs of man butt cheeks and not see anything with a woman. That's unheard of.
Not even the sirens.
No, they didn't show the sirens. They were blurs.
Oh,
Yeah, see?
all right, man.
Christopher Nolan, don't ever do that again. Don't ever just show the man cheeks. I was sitting next to a gay couple too, so I was like, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I try to check, gauge their excitement when they saw bro face down, cheeks up. Anyways, but outside that, it was a great movie. Great movie, fantastic movie. That's it for us. I gotta get to bed. I gotta wake up in 5 hours. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.